All right, so we are recording.
You're muted.
I'm not now, so hopefully we're good. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can everyone see my screen? And I believe there's a tiny icon of me in the bottom right corner. Can you all see that? And I'm not hearing back from anyone.
Yes, we can see it.
Oh, perfect. Great. All right, let's get started. So today we're going to talk about all things Echo. This is part of Fall Faculty Ramp Up 2021 Virtual, and welcome everybody. My name is Marianne Bauer. I work for the Academic Technology Unit with ACNS, and I've been at CSU for about 11 years now. So we'll get started. So our agenda today is to talk about what lecture capture is and how it works, what you see when you log into your Echo360 account, what students see when viewing Echo360 recordings and live streaming, how to edit and turn on transcripts, and closed captioning. This is for accommodations as well. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then how Echo360 benefits students and faculty, best practices for recording, which classrooms have lecture capture capability. I'll be directing you to our help website where you can look up some of this great information. And then a brief description of Echo360 Universal Capture Personal for recording from home or office. And then how to navigate our Echo360 help website. And then we'll look at some questions and answers. So if you have questions, I'm going to ask you to hold those questions, and you can type them in the chat so you don't forget. And then we'll go through those and answer them as we go, or more likely at the end. I might take a quick look to see if there's anything really pressing. And then I will be going into more detail on recording on campus and universal capture recording for home and office tomorrow at 9 a.m. So hopefully, I believe some of you had signed up for that as well. So let's talk about what is Echo360. Echo360 is our campus-wide lecture capture system. It allows instructors to record lectures automatically in over 200 Echo360 enabled classrooms throughout our campus. And also Echo360 provides universal capture personal software and allows instructors to record lectures from their home or their office. How does it work? Well, getting back to our campus recording, lecture capture is an automated process that records classes throughout campus, and it's free. We have over 220 rooms now that have Echo pods and Echo recording capability. So the first component it records is video. It's a video via a video camera installed in a classroom. It's usually on the back wall or ceiling. Audio records with a microphone. And I want to make it very clear that the most important thing to know about microphones is that almost all of the rooms have these boundary mics. And these boundary mics with the green light on mean you're good to go. So you should walk in and see the green light automatically. If it's red, somebody has switched something and you just need to tap it once to turn it back to green. If it's turned off, check and see if somebody has unplugged the cable. I don't see it very often, but people get in and plug their devices in and they unplug our stuff sometimes. So just look for that if it's not green. So that's what you need to know for recording in Echo. These clip-on lavalier mics, and I don't think hardly any rooms have the student handheld mics any longer, but the clip-on lavalier mics are only for voice lift. They're only for the PA system in large classrooms so that your students can hear you. But what's being recorded is the boundary mic. It has a boundary of about 5 to 6 feet. You don't want to get too much farther away than that. And then in addition to that, the this mic here is a ceiling mic, as you can see, and you'll find that in Engineering B2 and B4 and Clark A206. So if you don't see a boundary mic, look up. And then finally, screen capture. Whatever's being projected via the projector system is going to be captured. So if you are showing something under a document camera and you're writing on a piece of paper and it's picking it up and projecting it, that's what's getting captured. If you are using a lectern PC, that will be what's captured. Sorry, that's going backward. It's my mouse. Keep my hands off. And then finally, a laptop. If you're plugging in your own laptop, there are some rooms that are bring your own device. So you bring a laptop, then you can plug in and it'll pick up PowerPoints or websites or whatever it is you're showing. So whatever goes to the screen. Then inside the lectern is the Echo360 pod recording device. It looks like this, little guy over here. And the recording device is not something that faculty interact with. The Echo admins and classroom support services occasionally might have to reset one, not very often. They are really reliable. That's why we went with this system. So the EchoPod stores the recordings for up to 2 weeks. The recordings are uploaded to your Echo360 account. They're processed into your library. It's up in the cloud. And then the pods can be automatically scheduled to start and stop recording either once or on a regular weekly schedule. So if you have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class at 9 a.m., we can schedule it, or you'll be able to schedule it to start and stop for that class. And also, students can watch a live stream of these recordings. So that's pretty cool as well. So how do I do it? Well, it's easy. All the classes are scheduled through Aries Web or Banner. Any of those classes that are scheduled in Banner will automatically have an Echo360 course and section created. And faculty accounts can be created and assigned at the same time. That's all an automated process. It pulls from Banner. So if you're new and they haven't put you in as the instructor of record, it's important that you ask your department liaison to do that, to contact the registrar and make sure the correct faculty are listed in the correct rooms. Because overnight, every night, the Echo system updates who's in what room and teaching what, and adjusts accordingly. So faculty who wish to record will opt in this semester, just like we did for spring semester. So they will create their own Echo360 recording schedule for either all their classes. They'll request recordings for only a specific class, or the faculty can do this through the Echo360 help website. And again, a little bit later, I'll show you how to do that, so you're all familiar with that process. I can just show you really briefly, but we'll also go to the website and do a test run as well. So basically, at our website, on our home page, you'll see home, faculty, students, self-help, recording requests, and technical support. And under recording requests, it's the first choice: create, manage your Echo360 recording schedules. You click on that, you authenticate with your EID and password, and then it brings you to a form. And when you see the form, you'll see most of them look like this. They're grayed out, kind of universal capture. And then there's a classroom underneath, just like that one. You tap the classroom, it turns blue. That's how you know when it turns blue that you will be submitting the request. The last thing you have to remember to do is to come down here and submit the request. You can also give us any specific instructions, like if you have an additional lab you want recorded, but it didn't show up for some reason on there, we can go look for it and sync it. Sorry. And then in addition to that, I wanted to show you that the way that you would know that you are in fact scheduled is it tells you right here it says scheduled. So in this instance, Clark A103 is scheduled to record, or I'm sorry, Clark A102 right here is scheduled to record right there. Faculty can even remove the schedule if they wanted by clicking the remove schedule box if they decided they didn't want to record any longer, or they were only going to record half of the sessions and the other half of the semester do something else, you know. So you have a lot of control on what you record and what you don't, but that's how you schedule it. There is a PDF file. If you go under faculty and under the create manage, you will see a PDF. And again, I promise I'll show you that later because that PDF is really important. It walks you through this whole process. Super easy if you follow that. So how do I lecture capture? Well, you show up and then you check the boundary mic for a green light. Again, if it's red, it's muted, turn it on, and you teach. And that's it. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to start a recording or stop a recording or anything. It's all, once you have the schedule, it's automatic. And what do you see when you log into your Echo360 account? So after class, your recording will upload automatically and be available for viewing in a couple hours. And when you log in, you'll be going to echo360.org, and we'll go there in a little while. I'll walk you right through getting into your account. We'll go to echo360.org and put in our alias email address, and that's firstname.lastname@colostate.edu. And once you get in, this is what you'll see. So this is your main library. It's under the library tab. The library has all the videos you've ever uploaded or created. You'll also have other tabs like courses and create that you can take a look at. Courses will be those where typically when we schedule something, or if in Universal Capture you send a recording to a specific course, it goes to your course sections. And it shows you on each of these how many courses, how many videos are under each one. If you tap on one and open it, this is what you'll see. You'll see all your recordings. These are the recordings here. These are called classes. So for each recording or class, you have like a little bucket where you store one recording and one presentation if you want to upload your PowerPoint slides as well, or other presentations. So that's under the Courses tab. One thing that's important is to link Echo360 to your Canvas course. This is the way that students access Echo360. They should not be trying to log into Echo360 directly. Chances are that won't work correctly. They should be logging in to your Echo360 Canvas course and getting in that way. And there are ways to create links to videos and stick them in your modules. You can even embed them using an easy embed button in Canvas. But the easiest way by far is to create or turn on the Echo360 button in the navigation and then link your course section. So again, under the help website, I have thorough instructions. This is part of the PDF that allows you to do that. So this is the PDF you'll want under this link, under faculty, link Echo360 to Canvas. And it's two steps. First, you go to settings and navigation, you turn on the Echo button. And then the second is that you link it to your course. And that's all you need to know about that. Again, bringing up the PDF on your own, you'll be able to see it a lot easier. Okay, I'm just curious, and you can turn your mics on if you wish, and I just want to hear from anyone who has used lecture capture in the past, if any. I'm just curious. And so maybe you're all brand new users, yeah? Hi. Go ahead. I hear a mic. Well, someone has their mic on, but anyway. Okay, we'll move on. So other examples of what students see in Canvas is the Echo360 button right here on the left. As you can see, here's a course on water resources. I believe someone has a mic on. If you might just check your mics and make sure they're muted, that would be helpful. Thanks. So if they click the Echo360 button, it brings up the course. And again, this is just a page that links again to the Echo360 website. So if you were to open one of your courses, again, this is exactly what you would see, with the exception that there's some information about linking to the Canvas course here. You wouldn't see that, but and again, here's all of the different lectures. These are all the videos, and the student would just tap on a video to open it. If they're by date, then they know what date they're looking for, which course, which class it was. If there's a live button down here at the bottom that looks like this, green live, that means that you're recording and a student could tap that live button and actually watch a live stream of the lecture. This is what it looks like for the student. So once they tap the live button down here at the right here, it shows the live stream, and it says click below to show the live stream. So they tap that, and then they're waiting for the live stream until it starts. And then once it starts, then they'll see the video of the professor and a video of whatever's on the professor's screen that they're sharing, whatever they're sharing. Here's some examples of real professors, because I'm not a professor. I have a master's in educational technology, but not a PhD. So, sorry. All right, so we have Dr. Neil Grigg, and he's showing an example of a turbine, and he's sharing his laptop or maybe a PowerPoint on the screen. And then here's another professor over in Scott 229. You also could do Voiceover PowerPoint if you prefer. Voiceover PowerPoint just means that you don't want to have your video showing, and you don't have to. You can turn that off. You do need to request that through the Echo Help website, though, so we can turn your camera off for this semester. And then also, you could even do some simple whiteboarding. Here's an example of a professor who is recording from home, and he has his own whiteboard and he's drawing out something. He also has his slides shared as well. So that works from home as well. There are some engagement tools for your students. There are a couple different things here. One is the conversation button, which is similar to having a discussion like you do with the discussion boards in Canvas. And probably the discussion boards in Canvas are the main way that you want to do that. But if you wanted to offer a question just to help get students engaged in your video, you could post a question there and students can answer. Students can also add a question if they have a specific question. And this one's really cool. This is a confusion flag. And if a student is confused about a particular part of a topic, they can tap that flag, and that allows the faculty to get a notification that there is confusion, and it shows you exactly where in the lecture that took place. So that's very helpful. Students can also bookmark pages or parts of videos, and they can take notes. So they have lots of great tools there. Let's talk a little about transcripts and closed captioning. So if the video was created after, I believe, somewhere midsummer, about a year ago, about mid-July in 2020, we started getting transcripts for every video created. So here's an example of a transcript over here on the right. And you'll see that it yellows out the area where where the recording is taking place. And then there's also CC if it is turned on. Sorry, I keep saying sorry, and I just need to just do a better job for you so you're not distracted there. All right, so we can see that this is the same wording as this. So closed captioning, the student has the option of what color, what font, how big, where to put it on the screen, top or bottom, etc. So they have controls there. I want to talk just briefly about tilt. So if you have a student who is actually, has the paperwork to show that they have a need for an accommodation and they need a perfect transcript, not one that's, say, 85% accurate here, then Tilt will take care of taking your lectures and sending them off to be professionally transcribed. The students have to, they have to contact the Student Disability Center, and the paperwork has to be available to send over to Tilt, and then Tilt takes care of that for you. So make sure you're not using these transcripts for anyone who identifies as actually needing the help. However, with that said, all your students can benefit from a transcript because they can search it for keywords, and it's very helpful for their learning as well. Another example, I blew up this right here so you could see what the icon looks like. It's right here. My arrow's off, I apologize. It's right here. So it shows a little speaker and the transcript, and that's simulating that what you're saying is being written out here. But sometimes, I did mention it's only 85% accurate, so sometimes you need to make some changes. So let me show you how to get in to edit your transcripts. So if you are in and looking at your library, if you hover over the thumbnail, there's a blue, 3 blue ellipses that come up, and you just tap on that and it brings up the view, share, edit media. And then there's more actions under this arrow, and you just tap the down arrow and you'll see edit transcripts. So that brings you into the editor. Now in this case, you can see the word convicts shows up a lot. So what you can do is you can search for that word and you can change it to convex. That's what you actually said. It picked it up wrong. And that way, see, here's an example of convex. And that way you can fix it all the way through the whole lecture. You can also edit the speakers, so it shows which speaker is speaking, especially if you have more than one professor, or just put your name in so that verifies you're the speaker. You don't have to do that, but you can, rather than speaker 1, speaker 0, etc. And then you'll save it as a new version. And then finally, under Edit Transcripts, you have the option to apply it to CC. So anyone who wants to use closed captioning would be able to do so. You, as the professor, need to tap that button to apply it to CC if you want them to use that. So once you save it as a new version, you've applied it, you're good to go. Here's an example of where we changed the name to Dr. John Labadie. So how does lecture capture benefit students? Well, students can watch at their own speed. They can rewatch content. There's that Canvas integration that's really helpful. And then Echo360 collaborative tools. Students can take notes via the Echo360 interface. They can bookmark specific areas of recordings. They can participate in discussions via that Echo360 interface. And they can indicate areas of confusion. Viewing via the Echo360 mobile app is beneficial for students as well. It helps students with different learning styles. It helps our international and ESL students because they can rewatch and re-listen and take their time in interpreting and getting into the content. It adds value to the course, reduces the impact of sick days and absences. And the use of electronic data feed is more visible than a whiteboard. So the DocCam computer screen or whatever's being projected is the best way when you are using Echo360 to help your students to learn. What's in it for me? Well, the students will definitely like you more because the UTFAB has made it a priority to increase lecture capture on campus. The students are asking for it, so that's why we're increasing the installation into more and more rooms. The University of Toledo trigonometry class study showed that the failure rate decreased from 28% to 4% using Echo360. COVID-19 restricted students have the opportunity to watch your lectures and keep up with your classes. And hybrid taught classes will allow students to watch a lecture live one day and online another day, allowing for smaller class sizes. And this helps meet those social distancing requirements. I don't know what those requirements will be this fall, but I do know that we have some faculty teaching hybrid classes still, so that is very helpful for that. You'll have access to viewer analytics to see who's viewing and how many minutes they're watching. Are they really watching the recordings? You can use the data and student questions to inform your instruction. For example, the note-taking, confusion flags, discussions, bookmarks, transcripts, closed caption, available at a fee for disabilities. And your courses are archived for future use, so that's very helpful. Down at the bottom, there's an example of where a student has asked a question, and in your interface, you'll see a red number 1 next to the icon. So if it's a confusion flag, it shows the confusion flag. In this case, it's a question. And here's the question that the student has posed. So what's in it for me? Again, professional conference. If you're out for a week, you can pre-record. You can use last term's recordings as well. You can evaluate your own in-class performance and watch and listen, evaluate the visuals and the content. Media professionals do this all the time to improve their presentations. So it is helpful to be able to see what you look like on camera. All right, common objections. No one will come to my class. My hair looks awful. I sound like a gerbil. I'll lose control of my content. It's a pain to record. Well, actually, it's very easy. And what we found is that the students will be coming to class if you're offering a reason for them to come to class. So if you just do a straight lecture and you don't say anything in your syllabus about expecting them to be there, there's a good chance that you might see them going to watching the recordings on their own more. However, if you're doing discussions in class, if you have group work, if you have quizzes and you make it a priority or make it very clear to your students that they're expected to come to class and that the recordings are only for, review, then that usually helps them to understand that they do need to be coming to class. And you can actually set the start time and stop time for them, the dates for when they are available to watch the videos, when those videos are available. So you have a lot of control over your content, and it's very secure. So here's some strategies and best practices when recording. Again, evaluating your teaching style. You can do the recordings and you could either use it or not. If you don't share the links, the students will never see them, but you can use it at least initially to evaluate your teaching style, and you can control your content that way. You can put it in the can and keep it for later use or for a different semester or later in the semester if you pre-record. You can flip your classroom. have the students view pre-recorded lectures and then use class time for discussion, projects, case studies, applied skills, that kind of thing, and augment your in-class material with a universal capture video. Here are some of the lecture capture rooms that we have available. And again, I'll be showing you our website, so I'll show you where to go. It's under the faculty button, current CSU Echo360 enabled rooms, and it shows the rooms. This, when I took this screen pic, there were only 185 rooms. We now have 220, so they're in the process of updating that form. It should be updated fairly soon. So tomorrow I'll be spending a lot more time on Echo360 Universal Capture, but since this is all things Echo, I wanted to just touch on it so you know about it. You can install software on your own computer, a PC or a Mac for home or office use. It records your camera, mic, and a computer screen. The camera, of course, is optional if you'd rather have a voiceover presentation. And you can see the Echo Help website for more details on that. But basically, you'll be logging into echo360.org, and you see firstname.lastname@colostate.edu. Again, that's the email you'll use to log in. You'll authenticate, and then you'll be in. And then under your library courses groups, create, under the create button is where you'll find new software capture. And for first-time users, you just tap that and it'll direct you through the whole installation process. It's pretty smooth, and it will install the software on your computer. Once it's installed, every time you tap that new software capture for current users, it will launch your Echo360 Universal Capture app on your device and allow you to record. The app looks like this. While you're logged in, you create new software capture, and then it's really important to edit capture details. If you don't do this, it defaults to your library, and remember I showed you that library where your whole history of videos occurs. Well, for some of you, that could be thousands. So by using a little bit of Echo360's wonderful video management tools, you'll be able to publish it to a specific course. And that way, all of your videos will be published to a specific course, and all you have to do is link it. The video, you have your choice of if you want to embed it or link it, or if you just want the Echo button and let the students go find all of the videos. So you can give it a title. You don't have to give it a description or a tag. That takes time, a lot of time. But if you do, it might be a little helpful to you in searching later. And then the live stream button, I believe, I can't remember if it's defaulted on or off, but the checkbox is right there at the bottom on the right, and you do need to check it so it's blue. Then you know that it will be live streaming to students. And then you save it. Make sure you hit save, and off you go. Once it's done, the video shows up in your library or your course, and when it's processing, then it'll be finished. So this is what it looks like when it's processing, and this is what it will look like when it's finished. It'll have a thumbnail of something within the presentation that recorded. And allow, if it's a 15-minute video, allow 30 minutes to 45 minutes for processing. So just kind of double the time. If it's an hour lecture, wait a couple hours, it should be processed. Okay, and then this is what our help website looks like, and we can go there in a few minutes and kind of take a look at what all is there so you can find your way. Okay, and I wanted to check in with you all and see if you have a better understanding of Echo360. I have to hold it down, I guess. All right, so we're going to go back to Teams. I'm just going to escape. Here we go. Okay, so let's go ahead now back to Teams. I'll bring this up and see. Looks like we have some questions coming in. And it looks like they had transcript on, so that's what we're seeing. We'll have a transcript of this presentation. Also, just so you know, I am recording it, so I will post it on our help website, so you'll have it. So let's go to the chat and see. Okay, so some of you have some experience doing some of those things. Great. Okay, so the question is, if you have multiple sections, like let's say you're teaching a hybrid course and you have a couple different, or you're teaching an 001 section and an 002 section, you want the recordings from both of those to go to all your students. You combine them in Canvas. So yes, there is a combine function in Echo where you can combine the recordings, and then the students will see all of your recordings as needed. So I'm going to, I believe my screen is still shared. Can you all see?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm on a new tab, and the first place I'm going to go is Echo360. .org. And then what you do is you put in your email address, maryanne.bauer@colostate.edu. And again, it's first name dot last name. Don't use any other kind of email for this. Now you won't get this. It's just because I'm an admin. And then I'm going to ask you, once I log in, to ignore our admin page. You won't see this. I'm going to change views here real quick. And then you'll be able to see what it looks like. Okay, there we are. So this is my library. And remember that down at the bottom, you can go to different pages of it, because I have 4 pages of videos, so you'll want to do that. So that's the library. And remember I told you about the blue ellipse. So if you hover and then tap the 3 dots or the blue ellipse, then you can see your choices. You can view the video, share it, you can edit the media, you can actually cut the beginning and end off, actually edit the video. You can cut a section out of the middle if you need to. And then under more actions, there's the edit details, edit transcript, etc. So there's all these other choices. Faculty don't have the option to delete because of legal issues. So, but we do have a form where you can request that we delete some videos if there's some test videos or things you really don't want. Okay, so under courses, look at the course tab. Now this one looks a little different, and again it shows you how many videos are under each one, and then if you tap on one, it opens the course. And again, I apologize that Echo360 uses kind of difficult language at times. The biggest issue we have is understanding that each of these is called a class. So Duo 2-Factor is a class. Within that class, I've installed or uploaded, I guess, this Echo360 video. And I could also upload and add a presentation like a PowerPoint if I wanted to do that. So each of those is a class. It's like a receptor for one video and one presentation in each little chunk. In this case, it has the dates. You can search by date. And there's analytics here for viewing and settings and other things that you can explore as well. We won't get into groups, but you can explore that on your own. I also want to take you to our help website. So that is going to be help.echo www.colostate.edu. And once you go there, you have everything you need to know about Echo here. It can feel a little overwhelming, but I just want to tell you that we spent a lot of time trying to categorize and make this as easy as possible. We always put important faculty announcements here on the right. And so there's a lot of information. Here's one on combining recordings, reusing past semesters, creating links, embed codes, assigning videos from your library into Echo course section, and then linking Echo360 videos to your Canvas course. Just about the main things that you really need to know. Here's create, manage Echo schedules and recordings. All those links are on that under announcements. Pretty easy to find. So this is the home page. Under faculty, you'll see get started, on-campus recording, etc. The Echo360 account for how to use it. And under each of these, you'll usually find toward the top a PDF. And those are the most accurate and easy to follow in terms of instructions. For example, to create and manage Echo360 recording schedules, you'll first view the capture classrooms for a list to see if yours is available, and then make sure that you're booked in that room. Then finally, here's the PDF for creating and managing. And if you tap on that, it takes you to the PDF. It's very clear with instructions and screenshots. You can see exactly how to do that. So, so that's really helpful. Another thing that I was requested to do last year when I gave this presentation was, one comment I got was, isn't there just like an easy way somewhere where I can have all the information listed? So I created a Getting Started in Echo360 for faculty page. And if you, so that's under Faculty, Get Started. Just go there. And I've laid it all out in as best of a flow as I could think to allow you to have everything you need. You've got the help website, on-campus recording to find out about recording. There's even a video that shows a typical classroom under that one. So that's really helpful. And then here's the list of the Echo lecture capture classrooms, how to log in, exploring your account. These are all a lot of the PDFs we've created. Activating recording on campus. So these are the details of exactly how to do it, and that's the PDF, I believe, yes. And then combining separate campus recording sections. That was what somebody asked, if they can combine. How to do that, and then home office recording, a little bit more about universal capture, linking to Canvas. So as you can see, uploading to Zoom, everything. So this is a great document, and I'd recommend, if you do decide you want to explore Echo, that you go ahead to the website, Faculty Get Started, and just pick it up right there. Open it up and you can download it and keep it. So that would be very helpful. Again, we had talked about, let's see. Oh, I did want to tell you that Ed Goodeman will be presenting tomorrow afternoon on uploading Zoom or other recordings to your library, and how there are ways that if you are using Zoom meetings and recording, that you can have them automatically go into your course section. They can just show up under the Echo button and you don't have to do anything once you have it set up. So he'll be talking more about that tomorrow. There's a student page where you can direct your students to this link if they have questions about access, and most of the time it's their browser. So we highly recommend Firefox. It seems to work the best. Do not have them, if they're on a Mac, they should not be using Safari at all. And Edge does not work very well. It's somewhat troublesome, but Firefox and Chrome are the best. Let's see. So it gives them some information about this and links to how they access their content, some other PDFs and help. There's a self-help page, there's self-help guides, and this has all of our different guides. There's some of them are videos we've created, some are PDFs, and all the different topics you can imagine. There's also an Echo corporate support website where you can search for guides as well. Recording requests, you'll probably be using this if you want to create a recording for your semester. You can also come here to get to combine your recording schedules. So you just have to decide which one you want to be the parent. Typically the 001 is the parent and then others are the child sections, and you can combine the recordings there. You can request special recordings if all you want to do is just come and do a couple of makeup sessions on a Friday afternoon and you book the room and such. You send this to us and we will schedule the recording for you. And you can also remove extra recordings, like if you create a schedule for the entire semester and you don't want to have all of those days recorded, maybe you're going to be gone every Friday, we can get rid of the Fridays, or just 1 or 2 days, you can remove a scheduled recording by requesting there. So, and you can also remove it for the entire semester. And then finally, technical support, and this is important if you still have questions, there's a common technical issues. You can report a classroom, a hardware issue here, or if it's software for Echo360 or your account or Universal Capture, then you use the bottom one. And that goes to myself and my coworker, Ed Gudeman. All right, so we go back to home. Okay, I think I've covered quite a bit, so let's just take a quick look and see if we have any questions. So here was a question, how quick are they processed? So typically double the time of the video. So if it's an hour-long video, it should take, usually it's done within about 2.5 hours. So if you double it, that's usually enough time. Our contract allows for 12-hour turnaround. So if there's something that goes wrong on the Echo website or with the upload, it can take a little longer, but I would say typically it's very fast. So, but it's not immediate, not like streams for Microsoft, not that kind of. Okay, so let's see what else we have. I'm going to go up here. We have a lot of questions. So I'm going to just kind of start going through these. So the recordings are saved permanently on the cloud. We have some from 2015, and those were ones that we actually brought over from Panopto, which was from as far back as 2012. So they just stay on the cloud and they're saved on the cloud. We are going to have a discussion about those faculty that are retired, or if there's a death in the department. That does happen. We had one recently and we were able to transfer the files to a new owner so that they could use the recordings with the widow's permission. So we can transfer ownership if a faculty leaves and gives permission for your use. You know, there are those options, but it's not like Canvas where it goes away. Your course is erased after what, 2 years, or there's some limitation there. So, okay. If there are multiple microphones in a room, such as the personal mic and the room mic, is there a problem with feedback? The only time you might have a little bit of feedback in recording in those big rooms is if you turn the PA up way high. So I recommend you keep the PA somewhere around 50% or halfway up. Try to stay in that level, and then listen to your videos and you'll understand, you know, how it sounds. And if you feel like I'm hearing a little bit of echo here, then you might want to, the next time you record, pull that audio down just a bit. Does it record for a few minutes before and after class also? No, this schedule records when class starts. So if it's 9 to 9:50, it starts recording at 9. and ends at 9:50. You have the option to email us, and many faculty do, and we're happy to extend your recordings up to no more than 5 minutes because the Echo needs time to reset for the next recording.
Can I ask a quick follow-up question
yes.
to the mic
yes.
question? So one of my concerns is in some of the, especially large classrooms like Behavioral Sciences A131 or Johnson 222, you know, one of the things that we're encouraged to do for through First 4 Weeks or the Faculty Institute is to really move around the classroom, right, and engage students that way. But it sounds like that's not going to work well with the boundary. So we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place there if we're trying to be inclusive and engaging. So I guess the question here is, you know, if there's the personal mic and the boundary mic, will the boundary mic pick up the you know, personal mic, the clip-on mic sound and well enough for the recording, or is that just going to be something students aren't going to hear if they're watching it later?
It's hard to say. I think it depends room by room. I have heard that there's been some success with the PA being picked up into the boundary mic, but it's not really great quality. So for your main instruction, the closer you stay to the boundary mic, the better off you'll be. Maybe if you're just soliciting some responses from students would be a time that you might be able to walk around and your PA, the PA would be picking up a little bit, but it's not real clear. The audio, I mean, it can be problematic. I think you have to test it in your room. We had to make a decision because we were using those lapel mics quite a bit in many of the rooms, and they just became so troublesome. They would walk away, they disappear, faculty would take them home, and we wouldn't, in some instances, we never got them back. Very expensive. They broke constantly because faculty would be changing out the mic part, and they often broke them several times a week until we put in a boundary mic and we're done with it. And the other thing was that we had to make a decision because there was so much demand for so many rooms on campus, over 220, that we had to standardize on the same mic for all of the rooms to make it a lot easier. So yes, I understand your concern because I used to teach and proximity was key to good class management for me, but that was high school and middle school, so maybe a little more. But I mean, these are just high school students, are our freshmen, right? So proximity is helpful just to kind of get their attention. But I would say for the major part that you're sharing, that maybe not walking around so much. Now, another option would be to kind of flip it a little bit, and you might experiment with this maybe every Friday, or, you know, just start out slow, but every once in a while use universal capture and record your message or record your lecture, and then have the students watch that first. And then when you come to class, you're doing your walking around and getting feedback about the video and talking about the content, and maybe doing some projects, some group work, some discussions, some case studies, you know, other activities. So that's another way you can really engage. Does that help answer your question?
Kind of.
Sort of. It's not ideal, right?
Yeah, I think, honestly, you know, I'd like to try using this semester, but I think my priority is to the students who are in the classroom. And so I'll be doing the things that I think are going to be most helpful for their learning, which is also, I guess, incentive for students to come to class. Yes, it is. That's very true. Yeah. Okay, so let's go on to the next. Oh, I guess I can unshare the screen. Well, I'll leave it. Now I'll unshare. Stop sharing. Okay, so let's see. Can we set and activate Echo360 recording now? Yes, you can go ahead and activate it now. Does anyone want to volunteer to be
a test subject, and we can have them share the screen, and we can have you activate your recordings. Let's see who asked. Arkila via Laura. You want to give it a try? No? No. Okay, she's muted. There's a button, it should be at the very upper right, and it's a microphone, and you can just tap it to unmute.
Hi. Well, that was not my question, though. So I didn't ask about activating. I had a different question.
Oh, I see that. I apologize.
That's okay. Hi.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So does anyone want to give it a try right now? Otherwise, I can try Hossam Aldeen. I could use your name, and we can go and look at your class, and I can show everyone how it's done, and then you can go back and do it later. How's that sound?
That's fine with me.
Perfect. All right. So share my screen. So, okay, so we go to recording requests. Everyone can see this, I assume. And then create, manage recordings. And I'm gonna, let's see, Spell your name for me again. Was it Hose?
H-O-S-A-M? S-A-M?
Let's just search and see.
I think you.
There you are, right?
That's it, yeah.
Nice. That was easy. And then we go to fall 2021. By the time you're doing this, probably next week, it'll be after the summer semester officially ends. It'll auto-populate to fall, but make sure if you do it earlier to do that. And then display courses and sections, and it takes a little time for it to do it, so be patient for that. So let's look. So you have two courses that are in Echo rooms, both. And if you wanted to activate this, you just tap on it and then type any notes to me if you had any. So we'll tap it. And we can even tap on Eddie as well. Okay, so they turn blue, and then I believe that the bullet has moved down to cover both of those rooms. Do you want them both recording?
Yeah, let's try that.
Give it a try. Okay.
I have done it. I just wanted to make sure that it is ready. We could activate now. So I have done it before. Right. Can we do both universal capture and the room, or that's either or?
You can still record universal capture to the video, so that's not a problem. But when you select, this just means that if it's on universal capture, it just means it's not going to record in the room at all.
Oh, okay.
And that also shows up if you're teaching in a room that doesn't have echo capability. But if we tap it, now it's blue, and we know that the bullet has moved to those two rooms. Then I just submit the request. I'm going to email the instructor so you get it, and then email staff. I think it comes to us anyway, no matter whether we email or not. And then submit the request, and that's it.
But if I decided to do a class at home, does the universal capture work too?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So what would happen was it would be recording in the class. This probably happened last fall because we turned on recording for everyone, and people were recording from home only, a lot of them. So their universal captures went into the course as well as whatever was recording on campus. So you can do both. So you can see it says scheduled, and created to recording schedules. This is important. If you don't see created and however many you picked, then you didn't tap right. Or maybe you tapped and then tapped on universal again and it went back, turning it off. So let's go back now and do the same thing. We're going to go back in. And by the way, you won't see search and structures. That's because I'm an admin that I can help you out that way. That's not going to show up on your screen. You'll just have, I think it goes directly to your name. All right. So now we're going back to double check. And there it is, schedule, remove schedule. So you'll see it says scheduled if it was scheduled to record, and it shows the room. Does that make sense? And then if you ever wanted to go back and remove a cell to stop recording, you just check that box and submit it again. And then you could stop recording. So you have the ability to do both. Okay. I'll stop sharing. So was that helpful to help you to see how to actually schedule it if you chose to do that? Know how to do it now. Okay, here's Laura's question was, does each section of the same course get a separate recording? Yeah, if you're at a different time and in a different room, yes, you can schedule a separate recording. Yes. So if you're teaching an 001 and an 002, and one is Monday, Wednesday, Friday in BSB 131, and the other is Tuesday, Thursday in, you know, another building or whatever, yes, they're separate. So you would want to check each one. If you were teaching an 001 section and say an 801, like online section as well, and they both showed up at the same time in the same room, you can only choose to record one. Always choose the 001, the face-to-face section to record. And this was answers some of my questions. Are engagement tools active for both the live stream and the recording? Yes. Yes, they are. Once they're doing live stream, they're actually participating in that same way. So they could actually ask questions via the chat that way. So Echo360, what it's not Zoom. It's not a synchronous meeting. It doesn't have all those fancy features for that. It doesn't let students share a microphone and a screen like Teams or Zoom. But the live stream is helpful, and they can ask questions. You just have to stop your PowerPoint and go and bring up your Echo360 and have it up so that you also can see it. And you also have to mute your mic so you don't get feedback. So it takes a little practice. It's worth practicing when you go in the room for that. So someone says they've used it. Let's see. Oh yeah, Hosam, he's used it from home and recorded 2 classes last semester. Okay, so how to turn on CC? There's a button for CC in the Zoom and Teams. Yes, and that's a really good question. Let me show you. So let's say I'm in this video. So I'm going to go to the, am I sharing? I'm not, am I? I better share. Okay. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to look at this video. I hover, I open the 3 dots, and I can view. So I click on view. And I just click this button right down here. Now this video was one that I made for ACNS, and I did not turn on closed captioning so for that particular video, so it's not available to me. So you can see how important it is as a faculty to turn that on. But that's how it gets turned on. And there are options. And I guess, yeah, in both Zoom and Teams, there's closed captioning available too. So they will also do ASL, American Sign Language transcribing. Yes, that's important, Jeremy. There are some students that need the sign language accommodation, and we'll take care of that. So just contact them. So once the professional transcript is completed, is it available to all the students? Yes. And then you wouldn't have to necessarily go in and do your own, because you can just, it will be turned on. And they have a setting where the video won't be available until the closed captioning gets completed and comes back and is attached to the video. And that way, a student wouldn't try to get in and get a less than perfect recording transcript, if that makes sense. All right, I prefer to use an iPad over laptop because it's lighter. Can the display be amplified on Echo360 so students do not see a smaller screen? Well, within the viewing, students can choose which screen they want to view. So yes, they can view either the slides or the professor or both. So yes, they can view just the slides and then it looks quite a bit bigger. So that's really helpful. I'm switching to together mode so you two don't have to be the center of attention. Let's see who else is sharing their screen. Oh, there's only 3 of us anyway sharing. Feel free to share your screen if you wish. Can you use Echo360 like Kaltura Capture for pre-recorded lectures? Is one technology better than the other? The answer is yes, you can use Echo360. You would use Universal Capture to pre-record, or you would book a room on campus and use the regular Echo360 capture. Is one better than the other? Well, we feel like Echo360 is sufficient for most needs on campus, and we have selected Echo360 as our campus tool. The College of Business and online have chosen Kaltura, and they go that way. I think that there's pros and cons to both, but Kaltura is quite expensive, and a lot of departments have shied away from it because it's very expensive. So it's not available license-wise unless your department goes with it. So as far as quality, I've looked at both, and I would say that you do get what you pay for with Kaltura, so it might be a little higher quality. But I think that if you're following good instructional design principles and you're making your materials big enough, the font size big enough for students to see, and your PowerPoints have, you know, they don't have 20 lines of text, you know, they have less than 8 or so, that Echo works great. Echo is sufficient. Where it's difficult is if you're trying to display like an Excel spreadsheet, and you know how small everything looks when you're sharing an application like that on a screen. That can be a little difficult to see. So again, but you can always zoom in and make things bigger and move around the screen a little more to get around that. How quickly do the videos appear on Canvas after class? And we talked about that. Oh, on Canvas. So they're available on Canvas as soon as it's done processing. So double the time and they show up. My experience for 50-minute class, it shows within an hour or so. Good, thanks for sharing your experience. FYI, my experience is Universal Capture from home is using my laptop. Okay, so, and part of it might depend on your network capability and network speed as well. And then this next one is, what about when you have multiple sections nested in one Canvas course? Can you only link one section of recordings? So the answer to that is yes, you can only link one Echo section to Canvas, but you can combine other sections. So if you're combining in Canvas and you're recording in more than one section, for example, an 001, and then you're also recording a lab section. And not all labs are recorded because not all labs have echo capability, but some are. You can combine those two. You make the 001 the parent, use that combined form on our website, and then you can combine the L01 recording, and then students will get all of the recordings. All right, so let me explain this question just a bit, just to make it really clear. So if you activate the echo button in Canvas, then every time a video is done, it automatically populates into the echo area in Canvas, and they're all populated there. You also have the option to get a link from those recordings and insert the links wherever you want in Canvas. So if you would prefer that and you don't activate the echo button, you just want to use an embed code or a link, then yes, you would have to do each one individually. Otherwise, use the echo button. That's the easiest. Okay, and then who do I talk to about none of my course showing up in echo? Okay, so Crystal, are you still on with us, Crystal?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so if you don't see an echo course section in echo, there's a couple reasons. Remember that we're pulling information from Banner, so the Aries web system. So it's possible that perhaps you were assigned more recently and they haven't updated the Banner system, and so Echo didn't pull that course. Or maybe your department has, there are some departments that they make decisions like the day before classes start and they assign people, and I don't know how it works that way, but you know, if they haven't kept up with and changed things in Banner, then things don't show up. The other possibility is if you're co-teaching, only one faculty, usually the first one listed is the one that shows up. So I'm not sure.
When I went
I thought
and
that
looked,
changed, but
when I went and looked through the scheduling recordings, it has my sections listed there, but it says it's not in an Echo 360 equipped room, which is really weird because when they gave me a tour of the room a couple weeks ago, they showed me the Echo 360 system in the room. So I'm just thinking that maybe it's not showing up in your system as an enabled room.
that could be. What room is it?
Plant Sciences E8.
That might be one of our new rooms, and it could be, it may not quite be online yet. So if it's not online, then the system won't show it up. Can I direct you to email our help website? And that way we can follow up with that and make sure we get number one, Plant Science E8, make sure everything's online and working, and number two, help you get that scheduled. We can do it manually as well.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, and if you're co-teaching, both faculty need to submit. No, only one needs to submit the recording request.
Do they both have access though to that? I mean, I know you were just kind of addressing that as a possibility, but for example, if I'm setting up the recording, but my co-instructor wants to go in and manage his portions of it during the time that he's teaching, will he see those or do they just fall to me?
It's all for the whole class. So, but I think you both will be able to see them. If you need something deleted, like a recording, individual recordings for specific dates, something like that, you'll need to contact us and we can go in and manually do that. There's not a way you can kind of separately manage very easily. It's
so
all
like if he has things that he needs to edit. So for example, just sake of argument, if like the first 10 minutes of class was reading and he wants to edit that out, I would have to do that editing for him, or will he have access to being able to edit that?
I believe he should have access to it if you're both
Okay.
listed as instructors. If
Okay.
that doesn't turn out to be the case, would you let me know? Let us know and email us. But I believe that they changed that. They used to have a primary instructor, and that was the case that only one person could access.
Okay.
So yeah, let's we'll check on that. I believe they made that change, and so anyone listed as an instructor should be able to access.
Awesome. Thanks.
Okay. If you did an at-home capture, but it didn't link to the course at the time, can you link after the fact? Yes, indeed. And that does happen. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. I am sharing, so I'll show you how to do that. Or where to go to get the information. That'd be best. So at our home page, you can go down here to assign videos in your Echo360 library to your Echo360 course section. You click on that, and it brings up this great PDF. And so this will walk you through exactly how to do that, how to assign it. You go to class, you select the new class because it's a new bucket for your recording. You're not replacing a video, so it's not an existing recording. It's a new recording. And just throw in a start date, time, a title, etc. And then you just share it. And that's how you do it. So that would then enable you to go after the fact. Same thing if you hadn't set stuff up in Zoom or Teams or something, or if you upload videos that you've created that you're going to use, they go to the library, you need to be able to assign them to a class. So that's how you do it. And if you use links, it's really important that you use links that are private links. Avoid public links. The main reason is, number one, that when we go to do analytics about the use of Echo on our campus, for further funding, we'll have thousands of videos that aren't linked to anything without any analytics. We don't know what department, we just have the name of the person. I don't know what that is. It's not on my end, but.
I have a question to follow up. So there look to be two ways to do this. One is to link into your library from Canvas, and that just seems to put everything into one big bin somewhere.
Yeah.
As opposed to if I already have the course set up as modules with the individual videos that go with those, really what would be better would be to embed each video in each submodule. Is that right?
Yeah. I think that's it's a good learning practice, and our instructional designers at online do that.
Right. Well, this is an online course that's going hybrid back and forth, and so it's a question. And I made the videos in Kaltura, then it got moved into Echo, and then those just sitting in my library. So now I have to figure out how I'm going to get them back into Canvas, right back into Canvas.
Right. So yeah, and you probably have a lot of videos, right? Mm-hmm. And limited time to do this, so it might be better to do the easy Echo embed code and go look for them, as long as they're named in such a way you can easily find them.
Yeah, they're because I worked with online, they made me do that. Yeah.
Okay. Now the other option is to do that process I just talked about, where you actually assign them to an Echo course section, and then you still could embed them, but at least they'd all be in the same place.
Yeah.
And eventually, when you have time, it probably would be worthwhile to do that, just so that they're all in one place.
Right, rather than just being in the general library. Yeah.
I can't imagine 1,000. I mean, I have 4 pages of how many 30, 69, I have probably a couple hundred videos, but having a lot of them, that's
Gotcha.
a lot. So.
Okay.
And then Jennifer, let's see, let's look at this. You addressed how to combine sections.
So I can clarify that question if you'd like.
Yeah.
So I went in to try and see if I can submit a combine request just now, but the problem was they said, well, no, it's happening at the same time, and you can't you can't submit a record request for the two sections if they're happening at the same time in the same room.
Right.
And so I wasn't sure how, for example, if I have, section 1 and section 231, which is the honor section, they're both there at the same time. And so I'd want them both to have access.
Yeah, so one recording, and then you'll just combine them in Canvas, and then all the students will be able to see the one recording.
So they won't need to have specific access to that section class in Echo. As long as they have access in Canvas, they'll be good to go.
Right. The only time we combine an Echo is if they're two separate recordings.
Got it.
Think of it that way. Otherwise, combine in Canvas. And then the last question is, that was a good question, by the way. Will tomorrow morning's lecture on home capture be new material or similar? It will be similar today, but I'll spend a little more time on the specifics of recording on campus and go into detail about what it looks like to record in Echo360 Universal Capture. So it's a little more detailed. Okay, I think, was that the end? Let's see if there's any more. I think we're at the end. Okay, great. All right, well, hopefully we'll see a few of you back tomorrow if you want more information about those topics. And did you all get the help information? I probably should bring my PowerPoint up one more time and leave that screen up so you can get that information. So right here under resources. All right, can you all see that? Okay, so the main ones is the email, echo360help@colostate.edu, and the website. It's just help.echo.colostate.edu. These are the organization. And then, of course, to log into your account, echo360.org. So those would be the three. Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you, Marianne.
You're very welcome. Thanks for participating. I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Everybody.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And I love the stadium seating. It's kind of fun.
Yes.
Bye. Bye.
It is. Bye.